zina lili lero lino mu mzinda wa Lilongwe pamene President wa dziko la Malawi Dr. Chakwera Amachitisa ndi Achinyamata kapenanso kuti program imeneyi adayitchula kuti Sona Sona monga mwa anthu ena mukutheka mukuziwa Sona imene idachitika ku parliament imene imayimirira ngati anthu akuluakulu. So pano president anaonanso kuti achitise Sona ya Achinyamata, state of national address for the youth. Takhalani pompo muone kuti kodi zinali motani lero lino mu mzinda wa Lilongwe.
Sona for the Youth 2025. Are we excited? Are we excited? My guy. Well, a lot of youth here. I see a lot of youthful faces. Dilibo! Yes, so some of our hashtags today, Tilimtika Momwemo. This is Achinyamata is easy. Sona inachitika last week in January mabiki. Antu akula kulu. Antu enage oti invisible, but this one is for us. So yes, let's own this. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to officially welcome you to the first ever, the first of its kind State of the Nation address for the youth in particular. Do we know who our guest of honor is today? Does anybody know who our guest of honor is today? Big Leonda. Audience, Big Leonda. N.C. Abule. Can we do that? Abule. All right. We'll officially welcome you. Agamabwela big guest. Diabatsamulanga. Umabaka daiba nuba ndingofuna nje landile somwina so on samina kutuonela on our social media platforms. That's X, that's we have MBC, we have Facebook, and we even know that different comments, different messages were coming from our WhatsApp platforms. So you are all welcome, everybody who's present in this room today and everybody who's watching us on the social media platforms. I just want to say first and foremost that this is a chance for us youth especially to give our recommendations, to give our opinions, especially in relation to the Sona. Wait, sure you see I need they are big. So ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce the president of our country, known as Dr. Yes, let's cheer for him. Let's cheer for him. Abule. The big Hemontwe. Tisangayanda ningofuna ndinene zokuti mwina ntwana siri kudziwa zokuti kodi ichi minute abwela nguva Sona. So first and foremost, about a week ago, the president, His Excellency himself, gave us the State of the Nation address at the Parliament. Ndiyano anagamba zinto zosiyana anagamba nkhani za food security development, anagamba za infrastructure development, anagamba za economic development, anagamba so nkhani zokhudzana ndi human capacity development. Ndemaka tsiku la lero tifuna timve kuti in relation to youth kodi izizi nanga Achinyamata madziwa kuti over 70% of our population as Malawi is defense. But just like makamba so masompenya 2063 aje timakazo tukamba ndati what timakhala ukamba ifeyo. So tisana kambe sambili tisana fuse mwina mafuso kumaso tisana bege my recommendations atu ndingolowa. So our president, His Excellency Dr. Chakwera, to actually give us a speech and opening remarks before we actually get started with the questions. Thank you. Over to you, Dr.
Wow. Well, Bob. Wow.
Father Mabwela, Mashida we know Mabwela. 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 Father
Wow.
The state president himself. Well, you are actually welcome first and foremost.
Thank you.
We welcome you, as you see. Wonderful faces, youthful.
Wow, my youth wow. Welcome to Kamu's Palace. The People's Palace, which means your home. I'm delighted to host you. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you. And pano patu zabebagale. Amukoza ukawa. Mchokoze Achinyamata mabwera kutani ho mchezo ndipo tifuna Zimene zikhale zothandiza tonse. Achinyamata muno Malawi mwaivatsa kale moto, right? Yeah. All right. In this audience, we have 12-year-old Tadala Chete. Mwana uja anali number 1 kwa spelling bee. Got champion wa ku Malawi kuno mpaka nakayimilira dziko lino ku Uganda. Yes. Komanso, we have Afro jazz musician Maggie Gadram, right?
Yes.
Gadram. Who is continuing the legacy of late Wambali Mkandawire, an old friend that's gone on. Koma amaimba zaloko komanso akoza kuimba ba global stage kwina kuli konseko. A popular rap duo known as BJ and Ace Dizzy. So they too have found their way to be with us today. And we have many young entrepreneurs who are making a positive difference in their respective communities through multi-sectoral business ventures. This is indeed a true representation of the youth aspirations across the whole spectrum of our population. And once again, welcome. Wow. You know, during the launch of the National Youth Policy in October 31st, 2023, I stated that every government ministry and every department and agency must familiarize itself with all matters involving the youth. So the youth, you know, they must have a cross-cutting kind of relevance in every MDA, so that we can implement the programs and projects involving youth, not just Minister of Youth and Sport.
Yes.
In fact, we may have sport separate one of these days, because the youth need to also be a special group. So for this reason, the State of the Nation address I presented in Parliament last Friday primarily encompasses what my administration is doing to empower all young people across the country, across all sectors of the economy. So I'm one person who believes strongly in the potential of young people. I have always worked that way. And so I encourage you to fully get involved. National affairs that will make everyone succeed on a national level, because we do want to be a self-reliant and inclusively wealthy nation, and it cannot happen if everyone is dependent. Everyone must be independent, self-reliant, and that's the way to go. Our interaction therefore today is a kind of development in a way, so that young people, you all feel that I am part of you, that I want to listen to you, that I want you empowered to be ready to face the future and to make a difference in taking our country and its development forward. So I've chosen this format it's a hybrid kind of interaction, you understand? It's a digital kind of format so that we're able
of the Lero.
to have constructive interactions, dialogue, instead of just, having shouting matches against each other. You understand? And, the media is here. Let's build together our nation. So once again, Tabulandiran.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for our own Dr. Les.
What did Ndano Joseph Yamatien?
Tien. Maonaru.
Wow.
Jaba semore? Apule umwe. Kudi wa. Apule umwe. Kudi wa. Apule umwe. Kudi wa. Okay, so Banova, Achinyamata mundizazo ndifo antodala. Tuzazo ndifo antodala. Ndi president wanje no yamene muna mudziwa. Mwina kapena ne mwina ndisana badwe kapena mwina ndisakuzitsata. Koma a whole president of a country kusiya Zimene amachita kunazo kuti hayi Achinyamata ndifuna ndimve madandaulo anu. Ndifuna ndimve inuye maganizo anu kuti kodi bomali muganiza zokuti tiyendetse bwanji. Sifa antodala. Look at just how blessed we are, ladies and gentlemen. So today we have this wonderful opportunity coming from X, coming from Facebook, coming even from WhatsApp, where youth can present their ideas, their concepts, their questions to present to His Excellency, Dr. Lazarus Makata Chakwera. So today, ladies and gentlemen, tikaiso ni mafuso ameneso akaiso kuyanka mafuso ojogera kwa antu amalawi kujogera kwa siyana sizo kuti iso panali nsankho wina ule wose ai wina aliyense wafusa mafuso awawo komanso mafuso amene akhala kuyankha makamaka tudzoso pa mafuso ambirimbiri komano mafuso amene afusidwa kwambiri so tiyambire pa X tikhairi kuona zokuti pa X what questions are actually there and yes, what questions will we be addressing this particular afternoon? Zutega kumamagaye? Zutega? How many of us are excited to hear what the president is going to say? Only ndwana manjena ke half quarter. Okay. So media team, I'll need the help on that. If we could connect to people that are watching us live right now, people that are asking questions, especially on X, to see if we have individuals who are asking questions live from the X platform right now. Okay, tindi mafuso siyana fuso yambirira pa X pamene pa ikayojogera kwa Tembi and this is a question that's coming in from Tembi and this one, Mr. President, okay. You're the one who's going to be taking up these questions. So akufusa makamaka akuti this is coming from the Sona statement on food security and increased agriculture productivity. This is in alignment with increasing agriculture productivity through AIP, mega farms, MAICC loans, and AGCOM and NIF fertilizer loans. So, Fusahudi, as a young person looking to build a future in entrepreneurship, I appreciate the President's commitment to promoting financial inclusion and job creation through the disbursement of billions in subsidy and agriculture related loans. My question is, your government is investing in a lot in agriculture, in the agriculture sector. So how much of this investment is channeled towards the youth development?
Wow. First of all, thank you, Ms. Long. And thank you, Tembi, for that important question. We recognize accessibility to financial support is very crucial, especially for young entrepreneurs who actually are just starting out and they don't even have established credit histories. So in order for us to address this question, the agricultural programs through MAIC, Agicom, and Agicom Amachitisa match grants. ANIF amapeleka ngongole specifically designed with flexibility in mind, knowing that young people, who are the beneficiaries of these programs can access the same. So we offer lower interest rates and non-repairable grant structure through Agicom, ensuring that young entrepreneurs have access to financial support. You understand that without, a burden on you with high interest rates, which sometimes the lending institutions have, you can't get anywhere with. So, for example, under Agicom, my government has disbursed 32% of its whole portfolio to young-led agricultural cooperatives, 32%. And then under mega farms, 13.2% of registered mega farmers are youth. And my government has disbursed over $5 billion through MAIC, farm input loans, to these mega farmers. And so, additionally, we are committed to ensuring that these funds reach young people. They reach the youth in the rural places and underserved areas. And I'm happy to announce that in the coming budget, I have already instructed the Minister of Finance to introduce youth innovation grants that will enable you to access financing because you want to create innovative enterprises in agriculture, tourism, mining, whatever sectors, but this is the kind of strategy we have concentrated on. So we want to do this in partnership with local banks, which are making huge profits, by the way, but just working with government. They are not lending you to be productive. We want to encourage them to produce through you as they let their finances come your way. And so we will also work with microfinance institutions and community-based organizations to facilitate access, as well as providing training and support to guide you through all that process, including giving you information about the guarantees and collateral options that are, most beneficial to your own situation. Because I have seen that many people, like myself sometimes, are financially literate. And so we want to also offer that opportunity to train in order that you have the necessary support so that everything is tailor-made to your competence, to your context, as well as to your capacity. And we are reducing, already we are doing this, reducing bureaucratic hurdles and making application processes more inclusive. We are fostering an environment where youth, especially in rural areas, makamaka ifanhaizira ndinu mamene mukudandaulaso kwambiri inuyo mukhoza kukhalanso ndi mwayi wakuti mulime zimene mufuna, muchite ulimi imene mungafunire, mupeze ngongole imene ikuyenereni, kapenanso ena tiwapempha akupatseni ndalama zokuthandizirani kuti mpeze mpamba woyambira zimene zija mfuna uchitazi. Zimenezo tudziwa kuti zikufikirani chifukwa not everyone is being reached according to the needs they have expressed. And tikudziwanso chifani nayendapo kangapo mdzikomo nkumva kuti ngakhale wena kuti mupeze nifu zikumavuta kwa basi chifukwa pakumakhala ziyangoyango zina. So I'm committed to keep increasing the investment until we can get every youth we can, so they are supported to produce and add value to what they produce. That means you are fully involved at every chain of the process. Zikomo kwambiri.
Mafusa tayankidwa pankani mene. Achinyamata mene tili muno. Mafusa tayankidwa? Yes. Has he addressed it well enough? Okay, paiso fuso ina tupa X.
Okay.
Nungofuna ndingoni nasozo kuti. Mafuso, keep them coming, youths. Keep them coming. So this is a platform of maga Achinyamata. Agula gulu panganikaye hodi. So zina kama platform anwe, but this one is for us youth. So keep the questions coming. As youth, we have, you can, there's X, there's Facebook. We even have a WhatsApp number where you can text your different questions. And I want to take this opportunity to say that this is here in the central region. So in the southern region, the president is also going to be addressing different questions and taking in different suggestions. In Blantyre.
In Blantyre
on the 27th of February, which is actually next week, and in Zuzu in the northern region, that's actually going to be on the 4th of March. So keep those questions coming. Magai, mafuso awawa, aji yankandi tu kwa benaso ma recommendations atu. Abufuna abuela o kadru. Tinabe mpangati. Dati ni masuke nkawa zatu zija. Tizirani wadi. Tizirulota. All right. So moving on to our next question. Abasoba X. Balifuso ino jogela kwa ati cheers babe. Okay. I commend the government's efforts in providing social welfare support, particularly through social cash transfers and assistance during disasters like Cyclone Freddy. As a young person concerned about social security and community resilience, I have some questions regarding these initiatives. How will the government ensure that the youth, particularly those unemployed or facing socioeconomic challenges, are included in social welfare programs, including both short-term disaster relief and long-term support?
Well, yes, babe. Thank you. It is an important question, really. While social cash transfers and disaster relief are vital components of our response to socioeconomic challenges, my government recognizes that the youth, particularly those who are unemployed, or they're in school, or they're facing specific vulnerabilities, they need targeted support. And to ensure their inclusion, therefore, we have developed several strategies. My government is working on enhancing the accessibility of social welfare programs for youth by integrating them into our broader youth empowerment frameworks. This includes prioritizing youth in vulnerability groups, such as those living in rural areas, or those affected by climate change, ensuring that they are actively considered, because sometimes they get to be sidelined. And by issues of social cash transfer, for example, because everybody thinks, first of all, about the elderly, which we must never forget. But the youth need it more because they are actively involved in productive things that can quickly elevate them from where they are mired. And so, taizina chifonyo Achinyamata sitaganizira mwamsanga, koma ndiwo amene akhoza kuthandiza somsanga ngakhala azigogo aja kuti tituluke mu mavuto amene tagwamo pa zifukwa zosiyanasiyana. Additionally, we are collaborating with various partners, including the National Youth Council and civil society organizations, to raise awareness and provide youth with necessary information to access these programs. Ndiye aliyense azikhala ndi mtima woti ndifuna ndidziwe chikuchitika nchiyani, chifukwa information ikhale poyera, ithandize kuti ma initiative woti tikhaleni zintchito zambiri zithandizanenso ndi kuti tiwathandiza achinyamata aja kukhala ndi luso lake, ma skills for development and educational opportunities. Tikatero ndiye kuti digital foster sustainable growth and long-term benefits for young people. Chifukwa zinazo zimangokhala ndi zoti tingopeza za lerozo koma zizilumikizana zimenenso zikhoza kukhala zamawa ndi mkujali. So these multifaceted approaches, we aim to ensure that social welfare and the initiative that we create through that should reach the youth who need the most, providing not just immediate relief, but also pathways for their long-term empowerment and well-being. Additionally, my government recognizes that raising awareness about available social welfare programs is critical to ensure that young people, especially those ndiunena byu ino muli kumudzi makamakaso chifukwa nthawi zina information imakupeza ni mochedwa kuti inunso mukhoza kukhala nawo ndi gawo zimene zizi working together to create chuma chakuti nchathu chathu. And izizi tikuchitira dala chifukwa choti tikatsegula njira zimenezi mikwalala imeneyi yakuti inuyo mukhale ndi information yoyenera, inuyo mukhale ndi kuphunzitsidwa koyenera, inuyo ma local offices kwanu kuja zipezeke zakuti izizi mukhoza kumafikira pafupifupi mkupeza mayankho ake. And we can then reach out to all the communities directly engaging with you at every level, by grassroots, by ground. And so expanding online platforms is also going to help you access some of this information timely. And then mukoza kuuzidwa kuti ayi pafunika zakuti. In fact, tifuna soti ingochita digitize zinthu zonsezi kuti zisamakhale zovuta. Chifukwa tulimbikitsa za magetsi kufikira kulikonse, tulimbikitsa za internet zifikire paliponse kuti aliyense akhale womasuka kumachita nawo zinthu za mtundu umenewo. We will ensure. Go ahead and play. We will ensure that every young person is aware of the opportunities available to them and can easily navigate the application process. Our goal is to empower the youth by making these programs not only accessible, but also understood and actionable. Ndifakira uzama office watu onse kuti alimbikitse zinthu izi zisamakhale zinthu zoti anthu akulephera kuzifikira. Pali chifukwa chanje okhala mbindalama nkungokhalira pamene wena akusowa zochita. Thank you.
Ziliboma gaye. Tikumvetsera koma? Tikumvetsera? Akuyankhani ndabatsogolo. Ukumbuya kuti kumvetsera? You know, sometimes as youth, we tend to ask questions that even like he has addressed. Mumuva wina mawa. Azaga, kodi abule, akuchita pochani izizi. Nkani zimwezi zimina utani kodi. Akubanga address. So that's why it's very important, as he has already mentioned, that we should be updated. Tizikhala chelu, kodi dziko langa unomu kuchitika chani. Komanso iwosa banga commit kuti they will let him and his government will let us know my opportunities. Cholinga so kuti Achinyamata so tizikhala zo utani kodi tikubanga grow. All right, we're still taking questions from the audience. To get some recommendations from the audience, and we're moving on to the next platform. So social media, keep it coming. My questions are my recommendations are So moving on to our next platform, we actually have Facebook, and we have a question from Super Shake. This reminds me of, I thought of Shakespeare, but this one is Super Shake. Okay, and this particular question is rising from the whole aspect of the statement on enhanced government systems. Yeah. So basically, is looking at the strengthened anti-corruption bureau aspect and the more funding aspect and the staff and autonomy to combat corruption. Okay. So the question is, Your Excellency, we acknowledge the strides that you have made in the fight against corruption, including increased financing to the Anti-Corruption Bureau and granting it greater autonomy through amendments to the Corrupt Practices Act, which removed the requirements for consent from the Director of Public Prosecutions before prosecuting cases. However, under the leadership, corruption cases have been discontinued. Access to basic government services such as passports at immigration and driver's licenses at the road traffic and safety service remains a challenge, and lifestyle audits have not been implemented. I guess even youth that are in here right now can attest to that. Right now, people that are victims in this particular building, right? And additionally, youth entrepreneurs in small and medium enterprises struggle to receive adequate support from the Office of the Accountant General. So how can you assure the youth of this country that your government is fully committed to fighting corruption? That is the question, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Rani. And shake. My administration is actually committed to ensuring that the increased funding and autonomy granted to the ACB, the Anti-Corruption Bureau, should be translated into concrete results. Firstly, we have strengthened legal and institutional frameworks to give the ACB greater independence in carrying out investigations and prosecutions without political interference. Secondly, we are enhancing coordination between the ACB, the judiciary, and law enforcement agencies to fast-track the prosecution of corruption cases, including high-profile ones. The recent high-profile convictions and ongoing investigations demonstrate that no one is above the law. Additionally, we are reinforcing accountability mechanisms such as digitized public procurement systems. We just changed the laws, and establishment of a special financial crimes court to expedite corruption cases. So this background or foundation has been laid. At the same time, we continue to promote a culture of transparency and empowering citizens, especially you, to be watchdogs through whistleblower protection and civic education programs. Nkhani iyi yakuti tithane ndikatangale miziphuphu. Nkhani imene iyi yofunika tonse kugwirizana machitidwe ake. Chifukwa tikati boma mbali imodzi ena amene mukukhudzidwa ena amanilembera kalata ngakhale pa ma platform togwiritsa ntchito.
Okay.
President, kuno wakuti achita zakuti nkhani yachimanga yomweyi yakuti kumadimaki kwina kwake kuno wakuti akuchita zakuti akugwirizana ndi wakuti safuna kuchitapo kanthu, afuna president ndi akachite zimenezo. Iyayi tiyeni ife tonse tikhale anthu odziwa kuti izizi sitikufuna kuti zithere pakuti. Tikagwirizana muona mchitidwe woterewu ukutha ndithu chifukwa tonse tikhala responsible. In addition, my government recognizes that building a corruption-free Malawi starts with educating young people. We must educate a generation, or we must breed a generation without greed, so that we are able to know the importance of integrity in leadership. That is why we are implementing targeted programs in schools, universities, community centers to instill strong values of honesty, accountability, and good governance. So through partnership with ACB, the Ministry of Education, we have now 2 tiers. You know, school doesn't end. So whether it's higher education or not, everyone needs to develop a curriculum that is including all of these matters. We are also supporting youth-led initiatives that promote ethical leadership and empowering young people to act as watchdogs against corruption. So we will continue. Like they used to say, luta continua. The fight continues. Okay. Thank you.
Sinjawumbele manje magayi. Asamani bose ma big gadget. All right, thank you very much, Dr. Les, for answering that particular question. And we even have more questions coming in from even our Facebook page. Like I said, everybody who's listening to us and watching us live on our different social media aspects, we are free to comment. Platform Mene Ndiaye Ifeo Achinyamata. Even the youth that are in here, we will be given a chance to ask questions. So if we have issues that are burning, he's right in front of us today, this very day. Abwela oketu kugule kuzayanka mafuso atu mvaso ma recommendation atu. So fuso lina mene so yachogera pa Facebook yujogera kwa Alex Changano agudia. And this one is in relation to the statement on accelerating the realization of Malawi 2063. Akuti, how is Malawi accelerating the implementation of Malawi 2063? By strengthening innovative ecosystems that empower young entrepreneurs and innovators, and what policies or investments should be prioritized to ensure that initiatives like technology hubs and innovation weeks contribute to job creation and industrialization?
Yes. In fact, we're doing our best to advance Malawi's Vision 2063, which is really a dream that is more relevant to you as young people than it is to us, because you are the ones that will pursue this. How do we have a self-reliant and inclusively wealthy nation that is industrialized, that is developed, that is an upper middle income economy, and not just, just because I have no cash in my pocket doesn't mean I'm poor. So being broke doesn't mean you are poor, because this country is rich. So how do we do that? We must empower young entrepreneurs who can then drive the industrialization. The National Research Agenda and the newly established Department of Creativity and Innovation demonstrate a high-level commitment to innovation, because that is critical. Prioritizing digital infrastructure, intellectual property protections, startup incentives, and expanding Malawi Innovation Week, that will boost collaboration, visibility, and job creation. This is where our young people are. So central to this is the government's commitment to creating an enabling environment where innovation is not only encouraged, but also translated into tangible economic growth and job creation. You are at the center of it. I have been to institutions. I have been to non-institutions where young people are dreaming big and creating stuff that we never thought of. And this is deliberately done in order for us to make everyone included in the process. We will make that come true, but it is basically you, because this vision is for tomorrow, and not all of us will be there tomorrow. Thank you.
Use the tray! 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 Okay, another round of applause for Dr. Laz. Munarundi mu audience Achinyamata. Sikubanga nawo za tijazama banga akapita mabwalo enaja akuti His Excellency. We're not doing that here. Kunoko ifemo Achinyamata. Tumati Dr. Laz. Nifanto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we are moving on with our questions. I love how Achinyamata aku Malawi kunoko ndanto organize bo. Maona mafuso, even how they have been drafted.
That's right.
You can see that they are asking substantial things that are not just about them, but things that they're even looking at the economic well-being and the well-being of Malawi.
That's true.
As a nation. And we also have another question here coming in from Elia Mwawanda, and this one's coming from our WhatsApp platform. Yes, guys, mafuso awawa wina aliyense akhoza kufusa nasankhe sizansankho kuti abakati wokha awawotani wina aliyense. And this is a wonderful opportunity, like I said earlier on, tendizipanga utilize zinthu ngati ziti zimene zizi sizimabwera kawiri, and we should be very grateful that the president himself is giving us this platform today. So the question is in relation to the statement on access to health services, that in particular is the increased health outcomes through the construction of health facilities such as health centers, procuring of essential drugs, recruiting of medical staff, increased child and maternal health services. So Awudi, how is the government ensuring that youth, particularly in undeserved or rural areas, have access to affordable, youth-friendly health services that addresses their specific needs such as mental health, sexual and reproductive health, and substance abuse prevention? Kawiri, even mental health. You go madilena age makangaruda mental health mankwalanto. I've heard people say that kuti mental health akuti matenda anthu olemera. You get, just because maybe they're coming from a different perspective, background, or they do not really understand what mental health is. So the question here, as I have already posed, is how is the government ensuring that the youth, particularly in undeserved or rural areas, have access to these, but they should be affordable, they should be youth-friendly, healthy services that address their specific needs, not what people think they need, but their specific needs, such as mental health, such as sexual and reproductive health, and substance abuse prevention. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Well, this is a critical question indeed, because just looking at the things that are facing our generation, government and my government is fully committed to ensuring that these health services meet the unique needs of young people, especially in unserved and rural areas. Sometimes you feel like, oh, it's just a health facility here. Even when that health facility is expanded, the reason is to be able to integrate youth-friendly services where the youth are, addressing issues of mental health, sexual reproductive health, and substance abuse, prevention. We recently talked about how even social media can batter youth until they don't believe in themselves no more, and they feel like maybe just taking their own life is a solution. Suicide. Or, you have people that feel like, what's the use? And even mental health today doesn't necessarily mean we know what's the misala. Life is tough, and so you need health care that even those who give, who provide the same, should be trained to be more responsive. Malmongo waweruza Achinyamata kuti wachabe. Take them for real. Listen to their story. Have programs, even in the rural clinics and schools, where we are also working to improve access to counseling services, sexual health education, mental health support, ensuring that young people can receive care in a supportive fashion, not in a judgmental way. So non-judgmental environment where they feel accepted, they feel like somebody's given me a shoulder to cry on, somebody's given me attention, somebody's listened to my story, because it is real. And to you, it's a real story that we must believe and then say, this is how we can work out solutions together. So, more relevant and accessible support system, inclusive for the youth, especially in remote areas. Actually, my government has revised youth-friendly health services strategy, starting from 2022 all the way to 2030, to ensure there is a continuation of such services that all stakeholders can use and support this sector. My government is also ensuring that healthcare remains affordable and accessible, particularly for young people from low-income backgrounds. To address barriers like long travel distances, we are improving the distribution of healthcare facilities. That's why we want to build all these across the whole country. So local clinics everywhere, health centers everywhere can provide the same within walking distance. So people don't have to travel long distance to access the same. Thank you.
Abwela ngati coming, eh? Abwela ngati coming. Tili paja hashtag yathu akumbukira ndani? Tilintika, eh? Ababa tilintika, ababa tafika, ababa tatela.
All right, naphunzira posozina tilintika mene.
Tilinkati. Abo watu kupitiliza magayi ndi mafunso athu, mafunsoso abaso pali funso ino kuchokera pa WhatsApp platform yathu imene ikuchokera makamaka kuchokera kwa Leonard Chakanga. Funso lawo lachokera makamaka okhudzana ndi increased access to energy, and this one is increased akufunsa makamaka in relation to increased access to electricity through the MAREP program and solar installations in homes and public institutions. So akufusa akunena zokuti this is eco recommendation. I commend, okay, this they're commending you and the government. They say he is saying that I commend the government's effort in increasing access to electricity through initiatives like the MAREP program and the promotion of solar installations in homes and public institutions. As a young person, I recognize the importance of reliable energy access for economic, educational, and social development. However, I have a few questions regarding how these efforts will specifically benefit youth and ensure sustainable energy access for all. So, the main question is, how is the government ensuring that young people, particularly in low income or rural areas, so tikuona zakuti mafunso ambiriwo awawaso tinanga kutauni kunoko kuti ilipo anthu ochepa Achinyamata in comparison to like the rural areas, right? So you actually see that mtimaso wa Achinyamata makamaka if you actually see most of the questions akubanga dwell pa low income and rural areas. Achinyamata amenewo, how are you ensuring that them can also afford and access electricity? And are there specific subsidies or payment loans, plans in particular, or financing options for the youth, especially those starting businesses?
Wow. Semana Pamene bandera fika bonde. Ifugwa nteka wa. Ngani yakuti magetsi kapena mphamvu ya magetsi ifikire kuli konseko. Mkoza kuona zimene zachitika mzanga zinayi zapitazi. Percentage idali ochepa kwambiri. Panopa yafika mlingo wina kwa masizo okwanira. Yeti kufuna ma-issues wa last mile kuli konseko kandi kuti anthu akhale ndi magetsi. Magetsi wakeso sanguti Eskom yokhayokhai, koma off-grid, kapena ma-mini-grid, solar, zoti aliyense akhoza kukwanitsa. Ndiye kuti tikhala ndi mwayi. Chifukwa World Bank, African Development Bank, vamva kulira kwathu ndi akuti afuna atithandize kuti ngakhale pa 25.9% accessibility imene tachita provide kwa Malawi wonse idzafika pa 70% in 5 years. So you can see the creation of jobs, making sure everyone has an opportunity to do something that gives them, money. Yeah. Some profit, making sure that we have initiatives that help us produce. Even if it's a small-scale business, the youth shall grow. So the young can grow, little business can become big business, and working with National Youth Service as well as Teveta, kuti Married ndiye my rural education program. Ndima program wena tandizile kuti these things then become actualized, not just imagined. And zimene tikuchitazi chifukwa chake tikufuna kuti village iliyonse ikhale smart village. You know, we are the warm heart of Africa. We also want to be the smart heart of Africa. Ndiye tigwirizane, tifake tikugwira ntchito together ndi a private sector. Ndi ena otithandizira monga natchulapo kale akunja bena mabanki enawa kuti zinthu zimene zithandize tikhale ndi apprenticeship and internship programs and opportunities zothandizira achinyamata in renewable energy companies, forming renewable energy companies. Zidziwanso kuti masola timakakonza bwanji, timachita install bwanji, timachita bwanji. These initiatives will help young people everywhere gain valuable skills. They will also contribute to the green energy transition that we are looking for while creating sustainable jobs for themselves, their communities, and everybody else. Ifeyo cholinga chathu nchakuti sitikhala satisfied until the last one at the end of that mile has been reached and has accessibility to smart things. But that sizingateke popanda magetsi kuti afikire paliponsepo. Ye imeneyi tichukumitsa kwa basi.
Zumbega Magaye akuti he's taken it personal. Sana naso zokuti ndikusiya m'manja mwa komano tiyesetsa ndithu kutsindikatu kumeneko. Anthu amene mwina ama high school mwina ndithu simukudziwa kuti ndijani. You know, all right. Ndudzoza kuti so achinyamata munomu muli achinyamata youth chwe. Ibatse moto. Ipemelele. My guy. Mundigwetsa play. Achinyamata dalibo kapena we are all above 35. Ndinachinyamata adi? Tifuna liyese zina zake. See, 1 1 1 akuveka mbaizi uko mwina tuwana 1 1 1. Okay, together now. 1 1 1 Ipemelele. Okay, so ababa so tufuna ndipange zina zake. Momunomo ndikudziwa kuti muli achinyamata amene ali ndi they have burning issues right now. Ndikudziwa kuti angopita unyumba akautcha blanketi. Maka tsiku la Lero. Ndi tsiku la Lero so mupatsidwa mwayi wokuti tikhoza kwafusa there His Excellency the State President, who is actually right in front of us, kusiya zonse zimene amachita kuti ayankhe mafunso athu kapena so tiwapatse ma recommendations athu. So by a show of hands, we'll just be choosing randomly. By a show of hands, who has questions for Dr. Laz? Who has questions for Dr. Laz?
Wow.
Tosefe? Hey, my guy. Huh? Kosaku. Tigwana wangu ne? Is that okay? Okay. That's okay. All right. This is random. Zingopatsa random people kuti wamwayi tsigwa iyo right? Wamwayi. So lelo muzibanga introduce adona komanso mu awuza kuti question yani Jordan.
Thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Zimene and I'm one of the visionaries that, given the resources and the right collaboration, I'll effect the change that young people really need. As a young person that hopes to build a future in entrepreneurship, Your Excellency, I am very appreciative of your commitment to ensuring that young people have financial inclusion as well as job creation through the disbursement of billions in NIF loans. Your Excellency, you've even just mentioned that you will include in the budget that there should be youth innovation grants. Thank you, Your Excellency, for that. However, Your Excellency, I have a question. Your Excellency, the youth of Malawi are questioning the methods youth NIF uses to dispense loans to young entrepreneurs, as many of them feel that they are left out. Your Excellency, if your government does indeed claim that it is about youth empowerment, what methods are you putting to make sure that young people access these NIF loans? Thank you, Your Excellency.
Wow.
Thank you so much. I saw a wonderful, I think she's the youngest lady in the building, isn't she? Isn't she? I think. Mugona wanga ndani sofuna fusofu. Okay, tiambila adona chifukwa zokuti tufuna zokuti wina aliyense achinyamata sopaja. Age bracket ndijani baji. Eh? Ndifa chinyamaradi? What's the youth bracket, guys? Eh? Ena kuti 13 below, ena kuti 35 below, ena kuti 13 to 25. What? 10 to 35, right? So tufuna so kuti wina aliyense so should be presented in this room. So yes, yeah. Madam, introduce yourself. Koma so mufuse fuso kwa aechi.
Your Excellency, my name is Tadara Chete, a Form 1 student at Eagles Nest Christian Academy in Lilongwe.
All right.
Your Excellency, I'm privileged to meet you on behalf of millions of young people of my age in primary and secondary schools in our nation. I therefore thank you, Your Excellency, for giving us your audience today. Please allow me, Your Excellency, to acknowledge some of the remarkable developments that the government is rolling out in education sector in some schools, such as construction of additional classrooms, blocks, teachers' houses, libraries, science laboratories, and teachers' development centers. Your Excellency, as young people, we are very concerned that in this 21st century, in some primary schools, pupils are still learning under trees due to lack of classrooms. Sadly, during the rainy season, like we are in, some learners fail to go to school or run from school to seek shelter when the rain starts to fall just because they don't have a safe environment for teaching and learning. Your Excellency, in such instances, my heart feels for fellow learners with disabilities and those who travel long distances to go to school. Another concern is the ratio of teacher to learners. In many schools, classrooms are too crowded for one teacher to handle, and teaching and learning materials are also inadequate in most schools. Your Excellency, sir, my question is, how can the government ensure that the current improvements in education infrastructure are complemented by good ratio of teacher to learners, quality teacher training, professional development, and safe environment for teaching and learning to enable young people to envision a better future? Thank you, Your Excellency.
Wow. Thank you very much. Let me start with memory, because this NIF issue is important.
Yes.
And then I'll come to you, Tada. Because while it's important to understand that the National Economic Empowerment Fund is primarily targeting young people, we must understand that it is critical that people like Memory should not be complaining that the processes are cumbersome. Sometimes people, it's like giving promises and it's not working. You know, right now, over 207 billion has been disbursed across the country in new loans. and the majority of the same are agricultural loans. But there are other entrepreneurial areas where NIF has disbursed loans. The good part of it is that we have over 70%, 76 or so percent of people paying back these loans so that we are able then to service others. But amongst the youth group, it's only 65%. So it is kind of less. Now, we understand several things that young people face, and that's why we are now including issues to do with capacity building for young people who want to venture into these businesses, so they are able to have the skills and the financial capability of making sure it benefits them so they can grow, rather than to say, well, it didn't work, therefore there's nothing more I can do. And we have instructed NIF to make sure that they have decentralized all the processes. They are found everywhere in the country. We have instructed them to even digitalize their application systems so there is less avenues for those who want, to practice the usual corruption, where everybody wants to say, because I know so-and-so, I will get this loan, and so-and-so who doesn't know so-and-so want to get this loan. This practice in this country needs to be stopped. We need to look at who is this? If they have the capacity, they are showing the ability, or they are willing to learn and to be trained. Institutions like TVET and others are there to help us. So while that is understood, and while we want to do all we can, we must facilitate easy accessibility of these monies and these funds. We must also learn the responsibility of saying, when I give back, somebody else can get this loan. Or in fact, when you give back, you get entrusted with more. So to him that has more will be given. But sometimes the attitude, even amongst young people, and this is what we have continued to discourage, that this is not attached to politics, it is attached to your economic empowerment. Does that make sense? All right. Now, the dollar. Now, while classroom construction of new blocks, teachers' houses, and so forth is an important area of improving education infrastructure, we know that education doesn't mean brick and mortar. It's more than that. And so these are but avenues to make sure that we give students or pupils the kind of ratio between a teacher and a pupil that makes it easier for that child to learn and easier for that teacher to instruct. And the emphasis is to meet your needs as students. So the government is committed to make sure that we have a comprehensive approach. And these may be isolated things, but they're part of a big whole, so that the investment in the teacher training and professional development programs will also include vital equipment of those educators with the skills they need to deliver high quality instruction. In parallel with infrastructure development, we are also focusing on curriculum reform. And so we are able to align educational content with the skills required for the job market. Sometimes, we used to study in those days art for art's sake or school for schooling's sake, but we only have one life. If that which we do does not enhance that life and make us have resources in our educational system that enables us to live that life to the maximum, then that education system is wasted. You understand? And so we must balance this. And we are laying this as a foundation to make sure that a generation of young people is there that can build this nation and take it to greater heights. And so what we are doing is to enable you through the various forms of education have the necessary prerequisites. Then, so that's why we are helping with scholarship funds, we're helping with this, so nobody is left out. Did you know that we give 99.9 funds to 30,000 students in our universities? And not 10% like sometimes it used to happen. So we are doing this deliberately in order that we have a positive step towards ensuring education is accessible to everyone and not just those that we know or those that have the wherewithal to do that. And my administration, therefore, has established clear criteria to prioritize financial need, academic merit, and the representation of undeserved communities. So you can go everywhere, and we want to make sure that we take classes and classrooms to where the people are, take university to where the people are, take all these things. In fact, we have dreams to say, even institutions that are training teachers, they can do that even specifically at a higher level. Narikule or Domasi become a university of that particular type so that they are specializing in making sure everyone, and even if you have taken a degree in something else, you want to teach it, you want to teach those skills, get a teaching certificate. So you are able to maximize that which you already have and use it for the benefit of everyone. And on top of that, my government recognizes that the ultimate goal is to ensure that our young people are prepared to enter the workforce successfully. Osaloa mgalawo ukangati wakalekale defeated. So we want everyone to be able to have the confidence, whether you be the ones creating the jobs and making sure that you employ others, but you have the necessary prerequisites. All right, I stood up, and so I just kind of dislodged my mic's deal, so no problem. All right.
Dutega magaye.
Azi kutega.
Mwana ngarayanka bwa. Abule ati rundianze, the brains, the gas, the yaza. Tidonso?
All right.
He's actually going to be taking more questions from the team. From the team. You fit way. You fit way. You fit way.
Thanks.
I think in life, if you want to go far, you need people around you.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to go fast, go alone. That's the saying. But if you want to go far, go with people around you.
Exactly.
That's how the go. That's how the saying.
What would I do without him? So.
Apule mumfuna malize kuyaka fuso ijaga pena imene jemezi oti mwafika ku Malaysia.
Well, I pretty much covered what is needed because it's important for Tadala to know that they can have confidence that our educational system is being designed to work for them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyway, guys, so questions. Who's the lucky winner? Who's the lucky winner? Anthu aundianga nati iweyo ndiwe ntsikana ndewondera basa ntsikana nzanga.
Ndadawaso ino.
Sikufuna nzika yankha milandu. Okay. Mutu uzadzina komanso you pose a question to the HE himself.
All right, Your Excellency. My name is Emmanuel Kalambule Banda. Having gone through the Sona, I highly commend your government for the various infrastructure developments that have happened, including revamping of railway systems, connecting towns, road networks, and of course, most of the infrastructure development happening here in Lilongwe and the beautiful roads that befit the capital city. However, as a young person, we would want, and many others, that we want to take a stake in the infrastructure development that is happening around. My question is to say, how is the government committed to ensure that the young people that have got skills, for example, in construction, engineering, be it civil or otherwise, of course, in transportation, how are you going to make sure that they benefit from these infrastructure developments, be it maybe employment opportunities, apprenticeships, or perhaps those others that are having some companies in construction, local contracting companies, so that they can also be able to take the development forward in terms of infrastructure development. Thank you very much.
Ziko mwambiri, aichi, fusuru ndimene.
All right.
Mwalimva? Machuchuchu kapena abwelezesa.
It's okay.
Zamveka?
Mkongo funika kuti tigwirizane bwinobwino. Kwa kani ya dziko ngati lathuli, infrastructural projects that are being undertaken should really provide opportunities for young people, particularly those who have skills in construction, engineering, and transportation. Mpongo funika kuti tizithandizana. Chifukwa Achinyamata ambiri ainu ena angomaliza mwina school kumene, koma mukachita partner ndi wina wake nkukhala ndi a kind of apprenticeship program that is designed intentionally to provide you with the necessary skills. Ndiye kuti ntchitozi zikhoza kukhala zambiri zedi chifukwa kwathu kuno misewu yofunika kukonza ni ambirimbiri. And whether you're talking about providing infrastructure for road transportation, for rail transportation, for air transportation, for water transportation, all of these can be youth-led businesses because we are concentrating on the human resource that has the greatest potential to do something with the strength they already have and the zeal they already have in order that Malawi should benefit from the same. We are doing this deliberately by linking youth to these opportunities so that we provide jobs but also build a skilled workforce. Skilled workforce. Sometimes what we have concentrated on is to have cheap labor. And this is not working for us because those that are building these roads are needing a certain level of skilled workforce. And so we must deliberately enter into that so that the country's development can be fast-tracked. And if we provide the same, if, for example, the 15,000 kilometer road network that needs to happen in the country can be done that fast, we will have a lot of jobs created. And I have deliberately instructed those who can build and operate in some of these things to come in so we don't have to say, well, we have no money here. When they already have money, they will invest and then they can take their money, but the road they cannot take out. The airport they will not take with them. It is ours. You understand? And so we need a fast-tracked way of making sure infrastructure development happens at a much faster rate. But we need you prepared. So we can learn and unlearn. And even if we have a first degree or second degree, we can still learn skills. And let nobody feel like they are too educated to acquire a certain skill. Every one of us needs to say we are willing to do what needs to happen to push the development of this country forward. Thank you.
Don't play any manja bwino bwino. Don't play manja bwino bwino. Awuyankani ngati yasa. All right, I think tingolenga one last question. One last question. Chifukwa cha Ntawe. Ludziwa zokuti everybody's looking at me with that bombastic side eye, guys. But the lucky winner, the last one of today, guys. Mundikhululukile. Mundikhululukile. Balika mwana? Okay. I am Begaye, the last person, and we'll see how it goes.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Yeah.
My name is Mtamini Kajusa, and I'm an artist representing my fellow youth from the creative industry.
Come
on. First of all, I'd like to thank you for assenting to the bill of the National Arts and Heritage, and which has also established the National Arts and Heritage Council.
Right.
So considering the crucial role of the National Arts and Heritage Council in uplifting the creative industry, how committed is your government to ensuring the timely operationalization of the council, and also ensuring that it's fully funded and functional? Thank you.
Abula etu kwa bwela auti by public demand. By public demand akuti mwana ayanke fuso. So ndimulola nditu?
Afuse.
Afuse?
Osala ayanke.
Abula yakwe.
Kumakozo yankabe.
Uchula dzina yako komanso.
I am Togozanija from Chisi.
Okay.
I have some questions on the education sector. One of these questions is on the schools of the people that training some skills like electricity, construction, and other things. In Chisi, where I'm coming from, in Chisi, there is more youths that lacking this. I can say those people that lacking these skills are those that do bad behavior like smoking, and the other things. So, in your government, ndikufuna kuti
Pamene Mpata yankule wina fotokoze.
Achinyamata ambiri akumasowa mwayi okhala kupeza masukulu amene akhozoma kaphunzira maluso ena ngati zokudza zopanga nkhani ya magetsi, kumanga komanso ndi zina ngati zamadzi. Anyamata amene akumazisowa zinthu makamaka kuchokera makamaka kwa anthu a midzi, chifukwa chakuti kulibeka ma youth clubs omwe akhozoma atengedwera kuti akatani akambe kuphunzira nawo maphunziro amenewo. Timafuna ngati kumene mudapanga contribute, mudapanga encourage ma schools ambiri maboma lililonse kukhale ma schools wena kuti achinyamata akhoza kumakaphunzira maluso amene akhoza mathandiza kuti anyamata aja samasowa chifukwa most youths akumasowa ntchito pakadali pano koma suwanatani adamaliza. Ndiye ngati iweyo like kuti iwe ndi kholo sungapeza sazapeza yani ntchito ndekuti mwana wakoso ndekuti sazapeza ntchito mix kuti wewe uzamuza kuti
alipomfa naye
mwana wakoyo uzamuza kuti
wabwera
sukulu imeneyi ilibe cheni chopindulira chifukwa kuti iweyo ukozongolusa fizi suzapeza yani yosatira komanso kunkhani ya kusowa kwa zipangizo zophunzira ndi zophunzitsira ili ndi vuto makamaka malo areas most kuti masukulu zambiri amakanika kupatsidwa materials ambiri chifukwa kuti mwini wake ali kumphepete kwenikweni komabe zikuyenera kuti amene azikafika chifukwa kuti pali CDS ena ana amafuna kuti amene anawo achinyamata amafuna kuti akhale mwinaka mascientist koma kumasowa materials ka makompyuta koma nanga akhala bwanji apanga bwanji contribute masomphenya a Marine 63.
Wow.
Ndiye tikufuna kuti mwina ngati pamene pakufunika kuti ma CDS zambiri pazipezeka zinthu zokhudza kuti munthu zimthandize pa maphunziro ake makamaka maphunziro aku secondary chifukwa ana ambiri zimatheka munthu kupeza mwayo ntchito ukakhala mu office koma sudziwa yoni computer which is bad. Ndiye tikufuna kuti achinyamatawa aziphunzitsidwiratu maluso amene wawa komanso ma primary schools zina zikumaonekeratu ma blocks ena amene anamangidwa ndi akalekale omwe zikuzopangisa kuti zipangise ngozi makamaka kwa achinyamata omwe akuphunzira ma blocks ngati amenewo. Ndiye pakufunika kuti ngati boma likufunika kuti likepo ndondomeko zokwanira kuti zithandize makamaka malo areas chifukwa zikuoneka ngati kunaka ikungokhala ngati vula ija ufulitsa kuti pe.
Wow,
that's it.
I love that one.
Give me a high five. Mwamona we. Ine ndimaganiza kuti lone analakwitsa. Kwa mina amachoka uko amane kuti ayi nonse mtafuna kuti haye pali wamng'ono yakuti ayi amene apereke mayankho ndene ndinadzamtsutsa kuti ayi apereke funso lake koma muona wapereka mayankho ndamuombirani m'manja. Chifukwa funso lilonse amafunsa amapereka choyenera kuchitika. Mwana wa speed ngati imeneyi ndiye kuti tili ndi tsogolo labwino. Chimene wandilimbikitsa nacho nchakuti tilimbikire kumanga ma classroom wena, tilimbikire kuti ma CDSS aja ngakhale ma primary school azikhala ndi technical training kumbaliko. Tinkachita kale koma tisakambeza kalezo koma tingolimbikitsa panopa. District iliyonsenso ikhalenso ndi technical college kuti anthu aphunzire bwinobwino ma skills wonse watchula waja. Achinyamata asosokere pali zochitika zambirimbiri Malai 2063 akufuna tonse tikhalepo ndi gawo. Ndiye uyu wanithandiza kuyankha mafunso mmene ine sinkadakhoza mpang'ono pomwe koma ndiwofunika A++. Tsono nkhani ya arts yofunika kwambiri. I know kuti budget amachita poseda apa 3 chakuti billion ndikambabe ndiye Minister of Finance kuti tione how can we source funding yakuti tichita operationalize zinthu zonse zija mwatchula zija chifukwa nakwa ine this was long coming. In fact yakuti lamulo lakhazikika tsopano nonse mwalilandira mpofunika kuti ligwire ntchito palibe chifukwa choyambitsa lamulo kuona kuti creative industry yathu sikusamalidwanso. We want to make sure that Treasury should help us move forward with fact we are the lamulo limene ligwire ntchito. We are proud of our artists and the creative industry. We're proud of our heritage. We want to make sure that we go out there and because this is really the magic bullet for unlocking the full potential of our creative and heritage industries. And so we must make sure that this is swiftly followed through and the board can then work as it should. But thank you for that question. We will make sure that I follow up on this because this was dear to me on some personal matters and levels because I've raised and my family is a family of artists. So we want to make sure that they too feel like we have considered them. But so are you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the state president, His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Makata Chakwera. We can do better than that, guys. Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! 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 How many of us are satisfied by the way he was giving his responses and the feedback that he was giving? By a raise of hands, by a show of hands. How many of us are satisfied?
I was too.
You are satisfied. Wow.
But I wish I had more time.
Exactly.
I didn't hear from her.
You want to hear from her?
Yeah, please.
Okay. You have a question?
Thank you, Your Excellency. The thing is, there are a lot of men, not just in rural areas, but also in urban areas. There are a lot of men who are leaving their wives because they have got children with disabilities. So, sometime at a point, Patricia Kaliati said something like, every man who leaves a woman because she has a child who is a disability should be jailed, like should be arrested. What is being done there so that these men, because nowadays it's like a lifestyle, men are just leaving women because they have children with disabilities, and they're not even providing anything to their children with disabilities. What exactly is being done there on the ground that these men should be jailed out?
Thank you. Every criminal needs to be behind bars, and but thank you for that question. And you realize that we have now passed new legislation. We have now Makoda, and we want to be sure that everything is done intentionally. If we talk about an inclusive society, nobody should be excluded. And these are real issues that people face. Now, listen to me. It's not the woman that has a disability child, because it didn't happen by herself.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's the both of them.
So we need to raise a society that is responsible. Many times, even those of us in the villages, in the churches, in the communities, in the mosques, sometimes at various levels, we have encouraged lawlessness as if that is the way to go. We should encourage that everyone should be law-abiding. And when it comes to issues of marriage, you don't leave your spouse on account of a child. That's not even that child's fault. You understand? And so let's be a responsible society, one that is responsible one to another. Villages should not encourage that type of behavior. Communities should not encourage that type of behavior. If there are people that need to be ostracized, are those that are deliberately committing crime, and then we want to cheer them up like they are the heroes. You understand? So I could go on and say other things, but I think her cry is something we all need to listen to and do better. That's why even when we changed that law, it was to deliberately accommodate certain things that were not included when we talk about people living with disabilities. Even that title itself, I know worldwide this is the way they talk, but even that is already discriminatory in a way because you have labeled them. So, but you and I, we can work these things out together, and so I like your spirit. I don't know who it is that need to be jailed, but certainly those who abuse others and abuse people living with disabilities, they need to face the law, the full force of it. So, Minister of Gender, take care of the same. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
All right.
I know that the audience is glaring at me right now for not picking up their questions.
Yeah.
But apologies to everybody who's present physically in the room, but we have run out of time. And apologies to everybody who's watching us live on our social media platforms and who commented and asked questions and gave recommendations as well. Just know that you can keep the questions coming, keep the recommendations coming, because we are not done. We are still up with this. Like I said earlier on, there's still Blantyre that's happening. So that's on the 27th, which is actually next week's 27th of February. And there's the Northern region, that's Mzuzu, that's happening on the 4th of March 2025. That's actually the next week as well. So keep those questions coming, keep those recommendations coming. They will be addressed by the HE himself. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, as we know, apologies to everybody. Apologies once again. Don't glare at me like that, guys. Maguya? Msandiwile. Eh? Ntawi. Ngati khulu? Okay. Ababa tingwalola ayechi atibange atiyankhule ma remarks awudzoza kuti mwina pali mafunso enake amene sanapangidwe tako amafunso enake zinthu zina zake mwina zimene akudzoza kuti achinyamata izizi they are burning still. So let me give the president the platform where he can address us and say some remarks towards the questions and the recommendations that youth have, and also any other things he feels he needs to address this particular evening.
All right, well, thank you all. I know you're not too happy, but invite me to Blantyre Cultural Center. We are rehabilitating that one of these days, so I can watch some of the stuff that needs to be watched. But I have thoroughly enjoyed this thought-provoking session. And I know that you're not too happy, but I pledge to take into account every constructive thought, even coming from our friend from Chisi. So let this discussion continue as we approach the following weeks. It's been already announced. And so similar event, 27th of February, 4th of March, God willing, we will do that. And maybe I can do a selfie if they said some of these don't even have computers. You know, they don't even learn. Some of us were born before computers, but wow. Stand over here. Oh, so then I can do this and this. Okay. Oh, this is great. Can you all look here? All right. I saw you smile. All right. Wow. Oh, yeah, I didn't see myself. You're right. So. All right. But that's true. I didn't see myself.
I'm watching that. I'm watching. I'm gonna move a bit labo bafubi yet. Kuti
Ndinachinga.
aoneke antu.
Do it.
Okay.
Watching up.
Whoa, muigwile. Okay, maona mimi ndaimela. Manja, with your 3 fingers like this, and then, but you should stand this side.
Okay.
Yes, you should stand this side.
All right.
And not hold this side so that you don't.
Like so?
Yeah. Wait. From which angle? Wait. Pamene and Achinyamata, like here,
all right.
and then you hold the 3 fingers, and you can take it.
She's teaching me something. Is that okay now? All right. Here now. All right.
And now. Yeah.
And here too? All right. Wow. But I want my friend here included.
The photos are the photo booth, so we'll be taking them in groups of 10.
All right. Thank you all.
Okay, Antoine Mudandaula Zokote, Sumuna Onege. So this is what we're going to actually do before Dr. Laz actually goes. This is Rengantu. We have a photo booth, by the way.
We have what?
We end this series.
By the way, Mamina.
In the photo booth, by the way, and we have different people that you'd even want to get to know as your fellow youth, right? In this platform. So there's a photo booth right behind there to my right. Because I would jambulita mbaiza kumene wogo. Abule alindi meeting na. Musandiwile guys.
Bale.
Sabule sabule. Koma mko zodilondola ku Blantyre.
Yengo ya mala.
Kunzuzu. Ngati mafuso aja. Guys, if your question is really burning, you can ask in Blantyre. In Zuzu, Sijonjabuni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let me actually a round of applause once again for the state president. We cannot do better than that, guys. He has really done an amazing, he's really doing amazing initiatives. He's really answered our questions well, addressed things that have been burning on our hearts. This particular evening, I should say thank you very much, the state president, for giving us youth this platform where we can ask you questions directly, where we can give recommendations directly, where you stop everything you are doing to address us. We as youth do not take this for granted, and we deeply appreciate, and we really hope that everything that has been discussed in this platform, and even more of the questions that are coming on the X, on the Facebook, on the WhatsApp, that they're really going to be addressed, and at the end of it all, we are going to see results. Particularly right now, ladies and gentlemen, let's allow the state president.
She did a great job, didn't she?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Oh, by the way, I didn't say my name. My name is Ronnie Mateu. I'm your host.
So, Ronnie Mateu, hosted as well. All right? One more time, let's give her applause. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Thank you. Father Mabwela. Father Mabwela. Kwani DJ kumbuya kwa zukala bwa? Ndiya Zachinyamata Zimene. Before we actually get to exit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking we could Ndiyo summit Ndiyo stand but Sona for the youth, right?
So what do I do?
Tumufuna DJ angudipatsa vibe before you actually exit. Not if you're not okay dancing zabobo. But ungofuna ka vibe ga jet. Kuti disisiyanitsani zokuti we can stand up, guys. background, if you could please help us with the volume. As the step president is actually exiting, we can clap hands for him, cheer for him if we are happy and content on how he has addressed this.
All right. Thank you all. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
I didn't have my dancing shoes on.
I would have been
Thank you. I really appreciate you all. Ziko.
Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the step president. He's really done an amazing job, right? He's really done an amazing job. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this actually marks the end of the first of its kind Sona for the youth. And if you are not aware, our theme is our stake in taking development forward. So like I said earlier on, this is not ending right over here, and we are taking it nationwide. So people listening to us, people watching us on our social media platforms know that on the 27th of February, we are in Blantyre.